Oh, that was a hell of a trip. Now we are back at the forest. The boring forest.
Why?
Yeah, Scott's with no tried to invade us.
Debate us anymore.
What?
We are.
His personal.
I thought we were transported to a different game, Ryudo. Well, too bad. We are back in Grandia 2. And now the pathway seems to be blocked by a fucking gate. And no more trees for some reason. Look, I don't know. I don't make the rules of reality in this game. Well, welcome back to what did we used to call this game again?
Grandia.
Granada.
Grandia 2. And
Ganado 2.
Oh gosh.
Grand.
Ganache. Chocolate.
Grand Cross
Okay,
2.
quick question. What is
Part
this?
13.
Oh gosh.
And welcome back. Welcome to my least favorite section of the entire game. Well, actually, this is like the second least favorite, actually. And I have to say, this is not going to be a fun time. At least for me. I don't know for other people, but it's not because of gameplay wise, but because of story wise.
Think anything will be as bad as
Nothing
bad as the pure plot that happens in.
Oh, I think he cut out. Kazan, you cut out. Kazan, you're cutting out.
Yeah, I'm cutting out. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm cutting out because you guys were cutting out for me.
I
so
think you should restart your computer.
wondering what-
Do it later. We got recording to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I'll restart it. I'll restart it
Time
now.
paradox.
No.
Okay, so yes, feels like we're being like miracle workers as these days. First it's Liligu, now it's Miri
gosh.
Moo. They kind of rhyme, so maybe they're sisters. So Miri Moo has their own set of plot significance, and guess what? They all have to deal with religious context. Yeah.
Sounds good. At least it's not Final Fantasy
Really?
X. And
Yeah,
racist
Waka.
Waka.
There's nothing racist. There's nothing racist. It's nothing racist about this part, but oh god, this is like about as much. This is about as much of a. This part of the, this subplot might as well be comparable to a Naruto fanfiction.
Gotcha. Self-insert OCs.
Well, not really
Alright.
a self-insert OC, but more of the things that I've seen. Like an evil like the main character suddenly becomes evil or something. Because everybody acts out of character.
Gotcha.
While I don't blame him here, it just comes off as hokey. So, apparently now we're kind of forced to staying in this village, even though they say that everybody is suffering from a sleep-inducing problem. I don't know. That's the plight of the part. That's the plight of this world. Liligu had their problems with not being able to taste, and now this place is haunted. Also, as you can no doubt tell, we can buy Millennia's items now, so that should give you a hint of what's to come. Yeah, hintity, hint.
Alright.
Oh god, I realize how loud this is.
That's why
Yeah.
I turned it down.
Okay, so, new items here. Do your best to buy some stuff, because, I do recommend some of the stuff over here, because, firstly, Rowan here lacks any sort of defense at all, so that's good. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Buy the new, thing for, Millennia, the new crossbow. And we kind of get ourselves Lumiere flowers and blueberries. They're very cheap. Just buy them, because it might as well be a very good source of NP and SP recovery.
Plus, you never know when
Yeah.
you're gonna need it.
Plus, the other new thing to buy is a Moge Bomb. Now, I believe I already found a couple of them, but Moge Bombs, and later on, its stronger sisters and brothers, are going to be very important, because they actually do cancel maneuvers. Well, not cancel maneuvers, cancel attacks. Yeah, so if you need to, like, cancel, like, a group of enemies, just use a Moge Bomb. Just drop a pen. Yeah, just to let you know. Yeah, I left this in purely because it wasn't too long.
Yeah, you're just doing the standard shopping trip, or if in this case, if I was playing Kingdom Hearts, doing the big old synthesis stuff.
I mean, synthesis is fine, because you get to show what you get. You get to show what you found. But yeah, but there's also a couple of other things that you want to buy. Other ones include a sleep charm and a confusion charm. These two are actually pretty cool, because they actually help you defend against certain status ailments. Yeah, and you already know what a sleep charm blocks, because it blocks poison. No shit.
Alright.
Yeah.
And the confusion charm protects from happy status.
Yes, confusion protects you from happy. Poison actually.
Because, by the way, happy status is an actual status effect in SMT.
That sounds like a status ailment from frickin' the Mother series.
You could say that too, because happy status is basically you're so happy that you want to skip your turn.
That's stupid. Why would you want to skip your turn?
Because you're so happy. You're so filled with joy that you want to skip a turn.
There's no build up from that. Okay. Yes.
That's the best way to put it, at least.
Okay, so there's a certain skill that I actually got on Rowan. It is known as the Pirate's Ring, and it actually ups the chance on finding items. So yeah,
cool.
Get that as fast as you can and level it up to max as fast as you can.
Because it's a very useful.
Because since enemies can be a little finite, it's best if you get some rare items. Because some of them can include weapons, armor, and I actually do show that off in a later dungeon.
The like you mentioned in a very early part, the gargoyles and the tower. Only Rowan was there for that.
I mean, there's nobody else is gonna drop any like broken materials. I mean, well, broken as in like overpowered materials. But it is very helpful because money is pretty superficial.
Yeah.
Anyway, here is the plight. As you can no doubt tell from the plight, everybody is falling asleep. They're having nightmares. And the nightmares are so bad that they can't wake up from their sleep. And everybody else is suspecting that, well, Valmar is involved.
Obviously, it's the work of Darkrai. Quickly, we need to go to Crescent Moon Island to go get a wing from Cresselia.
Wait, hold on. Which Darkrai? Because there's many other Darkrais that do like certain stuff. There's the movies.
Oh, I was just thinking.
The movies Darkrai is a hero.
I was thinking just though. Yeah, not that one. I was just thinking of the one from just Pokemon Platinum.
I thought you were talking about Mystery Dungeon.
Mystery Dungeon's Darkrai is just basically, hey, I'm going to destroy the world and blame it on our protagonist.
You know why? Because
to the point where you piss off Palkia.
He's so pissed off. He says "what" twice. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Not helping is. I actually hate that. By the way, I hate that boss fight because Cresselia is a psychic type and Darkrai is a dark type.
Yeah. People with problems.
And if she dies, it's a game over.
Fuck that fight. Also, fuck the final examination fight too, in Mystery Dungeon.
Oh, the one where yeah. Explorers. I just say Skye, but it's technically also
I played Darkness, so yeah.
I played both Darkness and Skye.
Okay.
Which that fight is not pleasant unless you were like me and had the setup of Riolu Pikachu.
Oh, that's like the most broken setup at this point.
Mm-hmm. Riolu's like the best Pokemon in Mystery Dungeon.
Okay, so anyway, more plot stuff. I mean, it's not like constantly rubbing in your face what you have to do. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that's one big shocker out of the way. Time for second big shocker.
That
green little girl is back. And she brought friends in the form of herself.
Why is she here?
Because she lives here. Yeah.
Ira
lives here. It's almost as if... Why do you say that she lives here?
Right.
I mean, she's such a sweet little girl. Look at that green hair.
It's so like... Everybody else is like blonde and brunette, and then also white-haired, but then there's just one little green hair.
It's like Fire Emblem syndrome. Figure out which one is the recruit you're gonna actually recruit. Not the generic.
That or Final Fantasy.
That or Final Fantasy.
Oh, that's Sandra.
Yeah, I was thinking of Final Fantasy IV with Rydia because I was like insert foot into mouth.
Yeah, they do look. She does look like Rydia, actually. Little Rydia.
Yeah, especially. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
All right, now for third backstory, and by going into someone's house. God damn, we're going through a lot of houses these days.
What the heck? It's like we're travelers looking for a place to sleep.
As I said, it was either earlier this part or last part. Not as bad as November in Persona 5, where that's pure plot.
Oh,
all you have is a cutscene.
Yeah, that's a lovely month.
It's just one long, continuous cutscene with no form of skipping besides text advancing, besides just pressing Option and holding triangle.
Yep. Nothing but plot. Which we won't spoil.
Well, yeah, not until I finally get around to doing it.
So what do you think of this Poke plot so far?
The plot in general?
This subplot that you've seen for like the last two parts.
I think that little girl's evil. I'm already guessing. That little girl's evil.
You too.
Well, I think now we're gonna say that everybody else in this town is actually thinking that too. That little girl and her mother is evil.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying.
Yeah. I like to call this Omen syndrome. That kid is already like I know
she's
that
marked
kid's evil.
for death.
Yeah. She's like Dio. She has the mark of the devil. She has those 3 spots on her ear.
What about her eyes though? Are her eyes like really
Her eyes
red?
are fine.
No,
basically pink. Yeah. Her eyes are pink. And because she was blind initially, but this mother prayed so goddamn hard that Ira.
So she Valmar, doesn't she? She has the eyes of Valmar, doesn't she?
Oh, that might be it.
You have the whitey tighties of Valmar.
The whitey tighties of Valmar. They smell like junk. Now you can they're blatantly basically saying at that point that Ira can see stuff. Yeah. Since her blindness is cured purely out of the prayers of Granis, Njur. And yeah. And now people are calling the mother a witch.
I mean, I would too, or at least because she just like, yeah, I prayed to our mysterious god that we barely know anything about, and now
basically,
she can see.
Well, kinda. The thing is, she was already cooking up like brews in order to help her daughter, and people were calling her witch before that. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
I mean, it's understandable when your child is blind and you want everything possible to make her see again.
Well, all right. Do you smell what the religious context is cooking? Because, oh boy,
They want to burn the village.
meet one of the more detestable characters.
But never fear. The cathedral knights are here.
Celine.
Did she just pull a 90s reference? Never fear. We are here.
Maybe.
This village
Maybe.
is full of darkness. Darkness with terrible powers.
Darkness within darkness. Why does Kingdom Hearts Triple D have darkness?
Yeah, count how many
darkness?
times she says darkness.
That's 5.
Yeah.
That's like 6 now.
Yeah.
5 or 6 right now.
Merry Dark Christmas to you.
They have
Until further notice, this village shall be under control
Well, would you like to stay for
of the
dark
cathedral
Christmas dinner?
knights.
We have dark turkey,
All
dark potatoes.
entities shall be
Ooh, dark figgy pudding.
Mwahaha.
Understood?
Ooh, pass the dark green beans. Wahahaha.
There's 7.
Dominion of darkness and purified in the name of Lord Granite.
Purified.
Yeah, by the
Well,
way,
how
did you
much
notice that we can see through her head? It was completely empty.
Yeah. Yeah. 16 by 9 is a magic number.
I hate this chick already. Just by the way of her voice. Mostly of arrogance, I think.
Well,
I ought to have introduced myself.
I think the way they design these models is that there's just a face, a mask-like face, and then the hair. The hair's like supposed to cover up the empty void left behind.
Elena, you know that crazy zealot over there?
notice that Alina is not denying that that Celine's a crazy zealot.
Cathedral Knights. Now, High
What?
Priestess Celine is known to be an excellent inquisitor of heresy.
Oh, so she's possessed, or she's like gone mad. Like a lot of this plot, I'm just guessing off the top of my head. By the way, I don't actually. I barely know the plot of Grandia 2.
Yeah, but technically we played way too many games that deal with religion, and you can already guess like 80% of this plot.
I was not told of a sister in this town.
Yeah, when you play Shin Megami Tensei 1 and you find out that like Thor is the head of the U.S. Embassy and nukes the crap out of Japan.
Why?
And that's just for because okay. So I'm gonna try to TLDR this as much as possible. Demons are being summoned all over the place. Steven tries to throw the demon summoning program to a bunch of people. It didn't work out too well, except for the main pro tag. And essentially, a way to destroy the demons was to nuke Japan. But people weren't having that, so the U.S. Embassy was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna put down God's wrath. And yes, there's a god, there's Thor, and there's also a god. And God's wrath is throwing a whole bunch of ICBM nukes all over Japan. And that kind of started a global nuclear war, which destroyed the planet within like a year, within like a few months of time.
They blew up the planet again.
Yeah, it's a nuclear world, and if I ever decide to play SMT for this channel, I'll go more into it. But for now, yeah, Thor nukes China, not China, Japan. Thor nuked Japan. That's the best way to put it.
Destroying them. Why do people keep using the world's destruction as a good plot for an edgy story?
Because
First it's Fallout, then it's Shin Megami Tensei, then it's freaking Azura's Wrath.
Oh yeah, Asura's Wrath
Yeah.
is amazing though. Dude, Asura's Wrath is amazing though.
I mean, there. Oh, flip.
Basically, she said leave and be... She's basically being a bitch to us. We can't leave this place anymore. And she's basically... I guess, if you look at her dialogue, she's actually... later on, she starts to cite a riot inside the town for a witch hunt.
Basically, she's basically one of those people who is so hard-headed that no matter what you say or prove to her, she's not gonna believe you and just do
Yeah,
her
she's
own
an
thing.
she's an asshole. Purely because of that.
I've played games kind of like this in my time, and in the small time that I have started playing video games, and I've noticed this kind
Notice
of
that
context a lot.
Ryudo makes a joke about soap and bubble bath. And purifying.
Yes.
Some strong bubble bath.
Bubble bath
Got it. Bath salt.
Bath salts.
does not approve of mindless slaughter. Well, what the flip are you doing?
No, you don't. You see, while everybody's having a war for war's sake, she wants to have a war to purify the darkness.
Oh crap! That creates.
Yeah, but
darkness.
if you use light and dark, if you use light to banish the darkness, that would exterminate the light too. And then you will get
Exactly.
nothingness and Xdeath.
Basically, I think, but yeah, pretty much this woman's trying to continue the cycle of Valmar. This
cycle
woman
of
wants to really.
Valmar?
If I'm correct in Grandia 2, the cycle of Valmar kind of works like the cycle of Sin in FF10.
It does.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I would get
Where in
that.
FF10, a summoner goes on a pilgrimage with her and her guardian or guardians to become the High Summoner, and at the end of it, the High Summoner's closest guardian becomes the final Aeon, and the final becomes a Faith, which turns into a final Aeon, and the final Aeon defeats the current
And
Sin,
replaces the sin.
gets possessed by you, Yevon. Yeah, and gets possessed by you, Yevon. Becomes Sin and kills the original High Summoner.
That's kind of the same goddamn thing with
That
I Am Setsuna.
is-
Oh, dude, I've only seen like a speedrun of I Am Setsuna, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
But it
well, I
looks
hope you like snow
pretty great.
and a lot of piano.
Oh, I'm getting tired of
Both of those things
snow
is nice.
around
Yeah,
here.
let's play.
Yeah, I like.
If I
love
can, let's
snow.
play the game in like summer. Then I guess I could probably. Then I guess it'll be a lot more bearable for you.
Yes,
Hey.
I know.
Hey, we're already. I already got big plans for summer for Jaded Desktop summer, anyways.
Oh
I
boy,
can't
this ought to be
wait.
fun.